Just when I thought I've heard the worst, just listen to this story. It will blow your mind. It will make you cry. This man has known this lady for 6 good years. And finally, in December, they got married. 2 days after their wedding, this man found out that his wife has reconnected with her ex. They have been exchanging nudes of themselves and they've been communicating. So he also found out that this her ex is married and is also processing papers for this his wife to join him in the UK. And this man, he was so angry, and then he confronted his wife. His wife began to beg, apologizing, saying all sorts of things that he should forgive her. This man, because he did not want to end their marriage in Nigeria, he went ahead and forgave her and then asked her to block this her ex, which she agreed. Okay. Now she blocked the ex, but before then, the ex told her that since he has been processing papers for her to join him in the UK and now everything has ended, that she has to refund him. This man, her husband, refunded the ex the money he was using or he used to process papers for her to join him in the UK. So everything went smoothly and this man returned to the UK. Now, the following year, his wife joined him. So husband and wife are now in the UK. But along the line again, the husband discovered that this lady has resumed communicating with the ex, also resumed exchanging pictures of their bodies, their nudes. He was angry, he was devastated, but calm. Okay, so he approached her and asked her, "What's going on again?" As usual, she began to apologize. Okay, this man seized her phone and even bought a new phone for her. Much later, this lady gave birth. After giving birth, this man, out of curiosity, felt like, I think I want to know the DNA of this child. He secretly went and carried out DNA. Results showed that this child that his wife gave birth to for him in the UK, he's not the biological father of this child. This man again was so devastated and he felt really bad. At this point, he had not told his wife. So he called family members and told them she has been pregnant and now she has given birth. What should I do? I just found out that the child she gave birth to is not mine. So the family members were like, he should calm down. That if possible, he should reach out to some other people that knows better over there in the UK so that they can counsel him. He agreed with them, but on a second thought, he felt he should talk to his pastor. He spoke with his pastor. His pastor said to him that, young man, protect your family, be in charge. He now decided that he was going to forgive this lady again. This is the what? This is like the third count charge. Stay with me. So, after forgiving this lady in his mind, he now went and confronted the lady, his wife, showing her the result of the DNA test. And after showing her, typical of the lady now, of course, your guess is as good as mine, she began doing what she knows how to do best. And then he said to her, this is the DNA result showing that I'm not the father of this, our child, but then this child, even though I've forgiven you, the condition is that this child would not live with us. I'm a young man. I am schooling and working. She is not working. This child has to be returned to the father. So the lady now said that she has an idea of who the father of the child is. And then he said, okay, good. He also went further to say to her, see something. People are telling me not to raise a fuss with you or start fighting with you so that you don't end up reporting me for any kind of offense or whatever. I've decided not to have any issues with you. I was told that by the time I have confrontation with you, that you might get scared that I will remove you from my visa and then you might end up doing something not good. I have forgiven you. I'm not going to do anything to you. I won't remove you from my visa. But it's just that this child will not stay with us. So after saying this to her, she went further to tell the man that the father of the child is in Nigeria. So this man said, okay, now the father of the child is in Nigeria. And then he collected the number of the father of the child and called the man in Nigeria and said to the man, this is your child that we have here, and we are going to send your child back to you. Feel free to run a DNA test also. Now, this man in Nigeria, he's also married. Apparently, this lady had slept with this married man a week before their wedding. Can you imagine? And then they had their wedding, moved on. Now, he is saying to her that they have to return the child. And then he had called the man. So After saying all of this to the lady, after this their conversation, before he left the house for work that day, he said to her, think about all these things while I go to work. When I come back, let me know what you think. And then he left for work. He went, came back home only to see the police in his house. And then the police arrested him, saying that the charge is he did forceful entry on an adult who is 18 years plus. The byline of this charge was that he was giving consent for bedroom activities, but he was not giving consent for ejaculation. So, which means the wife agreed with him for them to do bedroom activities, but there was no agreement for him to ejaculate while they were doing the bedroom activities. Interesting what they charge. And then this guy was taken to jail. Apparently, when this thing happened, before the police came, that he left for work, this lady called her ex and told her ex everything. And the ex told her, in fact, the ex and his wife, they said to her she has to do something, that in fact, that she should report to the police and pin something on him, that she should report that the man has a coercive behavior plus, forceful entry, that by the time the man is arrested and he spends one day or one night in jail, when he returns, that he's going to calm down and she will be in charge and she will be the one controlling everything. It was not stated if the wife of this her ex is aware of what has been going on between the ex and she. So the ex's wife went further to tell her that she shouldn't worry, that this is how they run things like this in the UK. She said she was scared, and the ex and the wife told her not to worry. In fact, the ex was the one that helped her to put out this report and also got a lawyer for her for this case. So you see, now when this man was arrested, his phone was taken away from him. And then after a day, he was released, but told that he cannot enter his house until a certain date, 26th of January. After the bail, investigations were still ongoing. But this man, immediately this thing happened, he got suspended. He lost his job. His DBS was updated. Now, there are certain places he can no longer work in the UK for the rest of his entire life. I mean, his record is now carrying forceful entry charge. So these people continued their plan. This man, he got released. He's already released and he has no place to go, nothing else to do. He was living on the streets and hustling. His phone was still seized. He couldn't go back to his house. He wasn't with his phone. So he was only, borrowing people's phones, using a messenger to communicate with his brother who shared the story. The ex of the wife said to the wife that now that the husband has been released, that the husband is going to remove her from his visa. So they have to do something. And they began planning for her to get asylum. Okay, so they said they were going to help her apply for asylum and housing council. And then that she has to do something crazy, that she has to get an evidence for this application. So what she was asked to do by her ex was that she should get a fake phone call recording of someone threatening her that she should not come back to Nigeria, that since she went to report their brother to the police, that if she comes back to Nigeria, that they were going to unalive her. So she should get this recording and they will use it to apply for asylum for her. That was it. And they continued with their plans while this man was still on his own, trying to sort himself out. Now, at some point, this lady herself got fed up. She said to herself, this husband and wife, that's her ex and the ex's wife, they have their own thing going on well. But they are here helping her plan out the end of her marriage, even though when she messed up, her husband continued the marriage with her. So she said to herself, she can no longer continue with this. And then she went to the police and told the police that she wants to withdraw the case and all the charges. And then she confessed to the police. So the police called the man and told the man what happened. Of course, the charges were withdrawn, but then the records will not be removed. You know why? Because it's possible they could think that the both of them, they had gone to settle. And then this, because of their settlement outside court, this woman now came back to withdraw the charges. So this man's family, they are filing cases against the ex and his wife as regards this case. This man's life is messed up. His mental health, his reputation, all messed up. Wow. I've heard stories about exes, coming into the lives of people and destroying things, but I can't believe that exes can go this far. To think that this particular ex is running this whole operation with his wife, people need to be careful. He forgave the first time, forgave the second time. I won't blame him. This is a kind man that loves his wife, that wants his marriage to work. But then again, we need to always be careful. When you smell the red flags, please do not, as a matter of fact, get through with it. Anyways, this is the story. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye.